to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission and some attachments. That is crucial, honorable senators. Among those attachments is a table prepared by the said Salesio, running from page 4 to page 14. Page 4 to page 14 is not an IFMIS extract. Page 4 to page 14 is a table prepared in Word format, in Microsoft Word format by Salesio. That's important because that question was put to the Senate as if this is an IFMIS extract. It is in this table, good senators, that at page 6, in row number 4, you will find an entry called hospital supplies. This is Salesio writing those words. It is not IFMIS in which this is entered. It is Salesio. A person who was not brought here, we were wondering whether he's a real human being or he could just be taking care of his goats somewhere. At page 11, in row 3, you will find hospital supplies, another entered record by Salesio, not from the IFMIS. The governor's case before you is this, that if you proceed to page 17 to 29, where the IFMIS extract is, and you look at the corresponding voucher numbers to these things Salesio has written, you will find in the IFMIS extract, these are hospitality supplies. That's the governor's case before you. So the impression created by my learned colleague, Dr. Mudomi Thiankolu, that this entry hospital supplies is an entry made by the county staff in IFMIS is a pure lie, sadly from council. When you continue looking at those charges, I'm more interested in count 1 because the other counts, they are the kind of counts that I can say fall on their own weight. But this one here, somebody tried to point at invoices in a manner that was rather frustrating for anyone who understands this process. In fact, when I sat where I was sitting preparing my submissions, because I was not in this house, I presumed that either council for the assembly did not understand the impress system of government. Fortunately for us, this Senate works on impress systems. Count C, sorry, allegation C. Sorry, Mr. Speaker, before I forget. So the charge here is making various supplies, and that's why we supply only vouchers that show you what these payments are for. They are not for supplies. They are for particular recurrent expenses, that's all. So we are not accounting for 78 million shillings. We are just responding to this allegation. Thirdly, we are accused of paying full salary and benefits. In fact, those vouchers and those IFMIS entries are only relevant in respect to allegations A and B. When it comes to C, I have already mentioned to you that these payments were made pursuant to a court order. The lesser I say about that, the better. Count D says diversion or misuse of county resources, including funds or motor vehicles, to run the governor's private entity. You asked yourselves, which motor vehicle? You are told no. Go to the affidavit of police constable. You'll get it there. A very strange way of identifying a motor vehicle. I'm open to learning. I was not willing to learn that one. Allow me to demonstrate. Sorry? The Speaker, do I understand I have 10 minutes? Thank you so much. The governor was accused of nepotism and related unethical practices. Before I argue that, when counsel for the county assembly, Mr. Ngwele, stood here and told you that they have proved that Kathure Rukania is among those who are paid money that's not accounted for, I asked myself, look at the 39 allegations before you, 39, and point out to me where the name Kathure Rukania appears, even appears in the 39 allegations, so that the governor can now take the task of explaining him. The County Assembly has taken a strange stance before this assembly. I'm saddened if this is the trajectory of impeachment. Charge 2 is about nepotism and related charges. One of the claims here is that the governors send her unqualified technical team to China. Even when the County Assembly witnesses are given their own documents saying the purpose of this trip or this request for clearance was to prepare and guide on the visit. They will express words. They insisted that no, ignore those words in their own documents. They were shown the invitation letter to China at page 79 of volume 2 of the assembly documents. They were asked, show us which part of this invitation is inviting technical cancer experts. They were unable to show it, but they have come here in closing submissions to insist that that was the nature of the invitation. It is a rule of ethics in trial advocacy that an advocate must never submit outside the evidence. Counsel for the Assembly have breached that rule of ethics. They have said that the governor misrepresented to the Minister of Devolution that these were technical people. They are told, okay, these people are said in a letter dated 29th May 2023 to be technical staff. Who is technical staff? Isn't the governor's security a technical security staff? Isn't the governor's PA a technical administrative staff? Where was that word technical staff defined as a term of art? They can't show you. Then they say, we ask them, okay, the next week, the same county government writes the Minister of Devolution specifying these people's names and their designation, which you confirm is correct. So if they intended to mislead, where are they now clearly spelling out these people's designation before these people travel? They can't answer, but in their final submission, they still insist there was misrepresentation, a poor way of advancing the jurisprudence on impeachment. You'll be told this nepotism is in the engagement and employment of Edwin Mutuma Murangiri, a nephew to the governor. I've spoken about that. The lesser I say about it, the better. Nefat Kinyua, the governor's brother-in-law, in public knowledge. I mean, what kind of behavior is this? Assigning diplomatic duties. You'll be told the evidence that diplomatic duties were assigned is in a Facebook post. You are told, okay, read that Facebook post. Where does it assign diplomatic duties to the governor's relatives? It is not there. It's those pictures you see there. If you look at them carefully, they are speaking. Those pictures are speaking about diplomatic duties. Surely, a Senate to be engaged in that, I was a little embarrassed. That's 5 minutes. That's okay. Bullying, vilification, demeaning other leaders. We have shown what those leaders have done to the governor. The less I say about it, the better. They actually dared and threw the first stone when they had sinned more. Illegal appointments, I'll talk about this because this is statutory and I have an obligation to guide this Senate on the law. I will refer this Senate to section 64 of the County Government Act. It says, acting appointments shall be made only by the lawful appointing authority and for a specified period. It then says, nothing in this section, nothing that previous section has said, shall prevent a public officer, like the governor here, like the county secretary, those are public officers, from deploying another officer to perform the duties vested in another office during temporary absence. during a vacancy that office, you will listen to the case of the county assembly. They will keep quiet on section 64, subsection 4, as if it does not exist. But let's move just further, senators. Subsection 5 says, if it comes to the attention of the County Public Service Board that a public officer has purportedly made an acting appointment, delegation, or deployment, as the case may be, contrary to the provisions of this section,